Hello, it's Caitlin Jenkins, the family law vlogger here, and this is the next in the stages of divorce series. What we're talking about now is the start of the financial process to sort out finances if that's necessary to do so. And in the last vlogs, I gave an overview of what the process would be. And what I thought I'd focus on today is one of the first documents that you would need to fill in once the financial process has been started. And that document is a Form E. And I've got one here. It looks quite daunting. I often say to clients it looks a bit like a tax return. I just thought I'd run through some of the key points about a Form E. So a Form E is the court form that parties are directed to fill in once the court process has been started for sorting out finances. And the purpose of it is to be able to assess what there is and the baselines around what things are worth. So it's part of what the family lawyers community will call disclosure. So it's a disclosure of all of the financial information, and because it's cards on the table face up. So what is there and what is it worth? It's worth mentioning that Forms E are also often used in different processes. So you might be asked to fill in a Form E in mediation, or indeed if you're trying to sort things out between you using solicitors. But it is the baseline is that it's the court form for financial disclosure. So a few key points to point out about a Form E. First of all, it takes quite a lot of time to fill it in. It looks on the surface as though it's just factual information, which it is, and I'll come to in a second, but it does take quite a lot of time to fill it in properly. So give it some time when you've been asked to fill in a Form E. The second thing to flag is, although it's a factual document, there's a lot of requests for factual information, names, dates of birth, addresses of properties, all those sorts of things. Two other things. One, it's also an opportunity to put your case. So particularly if it's in a court process, it's actually a court pleading. And so it's very important that you fill the form in fully, that you fill it in accurately, and also you fill it in having an eye to the presentation of the rest of your case. So if you are in a court process particularly, and in any event, I would suggest that you do take some advice on the Form E once you've had a go at filling it in from a specialist family lawyer, because once it's filled in and completed, particularly if it's gone into court, then you'll be held to the information that's in it in terms of accuracy, etc. The second thing about the Form E in terms of the court process is it is a document that has factual information in, yes, but also requires a lot of documentary evidence and support. So as you flick through the Form E, thinking about the information you need to put in, make sure you focus on the documents that you're going to need to get together as well, because they can be quite time consuming. So for example, it's 12 months of bank statements for any accounts that you've got, valuations of properties, I'll come back to that on a separate vlog, information about any businesses that you've got, information about the values of pensions, which again I'll come back to in a separate vlog. So there's a lot of documents that are flagged on each page of the Form E that you need to either request from third-party companies like a valuation of an endowment policy, or you'll need to dig out from paperwork at home or print out if you've got all of that online. So it's quite an involved process, I suppose, filling in a Form E. The other thing to flag about Form E is that if it's a court Form E, you'll be required to sign it to confirm that it's true and accurate and the information in it is correct. Now, in mediation and sometimes in the solicitor process, you're also asked to sign it as well, but certainly in a court process, you would be. So it is a form to be taken seriously, to fill in completely, and also to take advice on. And then the final thing to say about a Form E is there's quite a lot in there that isn't necessarily factual and is more about thinking about the future, particularly in section 4, which is looking ahead, having an eye to the past, but looking ahead, because section 4 is talking about what the standard of living is during the marriage, whether there's been any conduct that needs to be taken into account by a court, what the person's needs are for capital, for income, for housing, and those sorts of things. So yes, it does look back a bit, but it's particularly looking forward, as this is the schedule of outgoing section, which is at the end of section 3 of the form. And so again, it's an area that really, yes, start to get together the factual information yourself, have a go at it. But I do think that it is an area that it will be sensible for somebody to get independent financial and legal advice on it from a financial advisor if necessary, or from a family lawyer who specialises in these sorts of cases, so that you can make sure you're presenting your financial position in the way that a court would expect, and also in a way that is sensible and advantageous for the way that you want to argue your case or explain what you think is the right approach for the future. So that then is the baseline basic information about Forms E. I'm going to do some further vlogs about some of the specific bits in Form E. But as always with the Family Law vlog, if you have any particular questions or queries regarding your situation, please do contact me or one of my colleagues at the Mills Reeve Family and Children team. Thank you.